met my husband up north. I went to a party after a basketball game and we spoke for a while, and about a week later I was back in Auckland and went to play basketball myself, and there he was. So we chatted and then he asked me out. We went to the movies.
So if you want candy, the lobby is handy, a condo with suites and a crew. With your kind permission, we'll have intermission, we're ready to serve all of you.
I think I fell in love straight away, and we had our first kiss that night, and it just went on from there. We both played sport, so we were fairly busy, and we just kept going out and dances and movies, and we weren't great party people. He moved down to Rotorua for his sport, and I was still living in Auckland, which made it difficult for a romance. So there were times of sadness and happiness when he came back up here, and then he was going overseas for sport. So I went as well. We'd travelled to Yugoslavia for his sport. We'd come back and lived in England over the winter. We'd been back over to France the next summer. And then we got married, and we got married in England, and we waited for a while, and then we came back home. We had a full and amazing life. Wouldn't have changed it for the world. Just when the children were off our hands, he got really sick, and we went through about 5 years of sickness, which was really, really hard, and it was like awful, losing the one you've loved for that long.
I vividly remember the day I first met Grandad. He was wearing a maroon corduroy jacket, which he still has, and for some strange reason I haven't been able to throw it away. I felt sorry for him having plaster from his fingers to his elbow, and when asked, he told me he broke his wrist falling off his skateboard. But at this time I was in another relationship and was not very popular when I kept asking questions about Grandad. Anyway, that relationship eventually finished, and over the next few months Grandad and I kept bumping into each other just to say hello and not really talking. Then one night I was at a party in Milford, and who should walk in but Grandad. He gave me a ride home that night in his hearse, would you believe, a 1937 Studebaker, and he scratched my name and phone number with a coin on the bottom of a tin, as in those days we didn't have iPhones, and the rest is history. And now I have 3 wonderful children and 7 adorable grandchildren, all of whom I am extremely proud of.
I think the first time I met my husband was I was about 14, and my girlfriend and I used to go to Queen Street to rock and roll lessons on Friday nights, and there was a group of motorbike boys outside what was known as Curry's, and we knew some of the boys, but there was one particular motorbike that I saw that I thought looked really, really nice, and then the owner of came out and that was Jack. When I first saw him, I wasn't terribly impressed with his black leather jacket and black jeans and black boots and black motorbike gloves and sort of longish hair, and I thought, but his bike was nice. However, as time went by, things changed, and we sort of formed quite a friendship. I was only 14 and a half or something ridiculous, and he was probably about 18, so I was still just a schoolgirl. However, sometimes at weekends the guys would come around and we'd go for a ride on the bikes around the waterfront, nothing spectacular. And then it became a rivalry between my then girlfriend and I about who was getting on the back of the best bike. One night we were standing there talking, and my girlfriend was trying to get rid of me so she could go home on my husband's bike, and I thought no. and he could see what was going on, so in the end he just said to me, "Hey, hop on, I'll take you home." So consequently my girlfriend and I were no longer friends. And Jack and I started going out together. From memory, our first date was going to the movies at the Ellerslie movie theatre. And the movies were usually pretty awful. If we got bored, wasn't me really, I wasn't naughty. We'd roll a packet of Jaffas down the hall, down the aisle, and I was just naughty. A few years passed, and on the 11th of January 1964 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was our wedding day, and all went really well. When I look back on almost 56 years of marriage to one person, it's been pretty amazing. We ran a very successful business together for many years, and I just think we've always worked well together. We're great companions, best friends, and we've had a very, very happy life.
I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just wanna be the one you love.